Hey guys, welcome back. This is Cam. Today I'm going to show you some fertilizers that I use to fertilize my plants. Let me go through the ingredient with you and then we go through the process of mixing it together. This is the OHN, Oriental Herbal Nutrient. This one right here is the FFJ, Fermented Fruit Juice. This is the kumquat one that I made with you guys. I have other FFJ too, but since I made the FFJ with the kumquat with you guys, so I'm going to show you how to use that one. This is WCA, water soluble calcium. This is what I need to add it to my plants during growth season so they have enough calcium to grow. So if you have any plants that is lack of calcium, this might be a good one to add. And also I'm going to add the LAB, lactic acid bacteria or bacillus that you want to call it. This is what I'm going to add it to. And the most important ingredient one is the FAA, fish amino acid. This is I made with fish gut that I save when I buy fish. Now, if you don't have FFA, you can replace it with kelp if you have. Okay, I don't want to pay money for kelp, and you can also use kelp or seaweed. If you live by a lake, river, or an ocean, you can make your own FAA, fish amino acid. It does take a long time to make FAA. Takes about 6 months or so to make it. But you make it, you can use it after 1 month. It's not as potent as it is if you leave it longer. Okay. I water with garden hose, so I'm gonna hook up my sprayer to a garden hose. So I'm gonna make a solution right now. Everything is pretty much 1-to-1 ratio if you're gonna add it. All of this, it's about 1 to 1,000, 1 to 500 ratio when you add it to water. So one part of this, 500 part of water. This is one tablespoon. We're just gonna mix about 3 tablespoons of FAA. 2, 3. And then I will also need about 3 tablespoons of LAB. Now LAB, once you make it, you can leave in the refrigerator. It's good for about a few weeks. This is pretty potent. I mixed this 1 gallon and now it's only have about quarter gallon left. So I'm not gonna use 1-to-1 ratio for this. I'm just gonna use 1 tablespoon for this. Okay. You don't want to use too much once it becomes very potent. It could actually do more harm to your plant. Again, when it comes to orchid, less is more. So don't worry if you think it's less, it's totally fine. I'll need about 3 tablespoons for this. This solution you could actually use for your indoor orchid. It's actually very good for your indoor orchid. This one is always hard to open. I'm gonna need to change the container later on, but right now this will do. I need about 3 tablespoons. You can actually use less if you want, but I'm gonna use 3 tablespoons, and that's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna mix up a little bit. Alrighty, I'm gonna add some water to this because I wanna fill the sprayer up. This is about 1,000 milliliter. Yeah, 1,000 milliliters. So I'm just gonna mix it up, and I was just gonna pour this into this sprayer that I use to water and fertilize my plant at the same time. You don't have to if you don't have a lot of orchid, but I do have a lot, so I do need to use a sprayer. It's just make things easier to apply. I need to use a strainer because the fish amino acid is not completely decomposed yet, and so I need to strain it out. I don't want to clog up my my sprayer. Again, if you're just gonna soak your roots, you don't need a sprayer, and you don't really need to strain it. But I do recommend straining it. Just makes things more cleaner. As you can see, there's some gut in there. Some fish bone that is left. Fish bone do take a long time to decompose. Now you're gonna ask, well, will the fish sting my house? To be honest though, if you make it correctly, it shouldn't smell anything. Now, if you make it incorrectly, though, fish can be very stink. But I make it where it doesn't really stink. I could use indoor. Okay. Also, you could, like I said, if you don't have fish amino acid, you can use kelp or seaweed. You can use that to substitute for it. Okay. So that's what I have as a sprayer. I am going to set it at 1 ounce per gallon. Okay. So it's going to come out 1 ounce per gallon. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to set it to 4 tablespoons per gallon. This way, it's more dilute. Okay. I don't need to fertilize heavy strength since I can use this on a weekly basis. But if you are going to use it on a monthly basis or every 2 weeks, you can use a little more stronger strength. But I use this on a weekly basis, so I don't need to use a stronger dose. So let me get this hooked up to a garden hose and we'll get started. So I hook it up to my garden hose here, as you can see, and I set it at 4 tablespoons per gallon. This should give me evenly spread out all my plant. So let's go ahead and start the watering and fertilizing. All right, so all my cymbidium are done. Let's go ahead and water my other orchids, okay guys? Bye guys. So I finished water all my orchids and fertilize it at the same time. I only use about 200 milliliters. I made 1,000 milliliter out of it. I could save this and use next time, but I have a lot of plants in my garden that I could also fertilize this with. So I'm definitely gonna use all of this. And if you guys like this video, please give a thumbs up, hit the like button, and share the video with your orchids growing friends. Thank you guys. See you next time.